What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is July the 7th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update over some hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data points, don't really have all that much today. Market is going to be digesting a couple things. One is the big beautiful bill that was rubber stamped and approved over this past weekend. So the market seems to be mixed on that. And then in addition to that, tariff updates. So it looks as though a lot of smaller countries are going to get hit with the basic 10%, but then again, I don't think that really matters all too much. Big one is going to be Europe, and from what was just last posted, it looks as though that negotiations are going fairly well. One thing that might cause some level of uncertainty was this right here. So any American or any anti-American policies of BRICS countries aligning themselves with that will be charged a additional 10% tariff. So that one I feel like could be seen as somewhat iffy. Of course, big countries such as China do fall under this. So that does mean China's tariffs went from 30% to now 40%. Logically, again, based on all of this, because the states in China just came to some sort of resolution where it'd be 30% and then versus 10%. So again, this one might cause a little bit of uncertainty. Aside from all of that though, you do see the futures recovering from the recent lows overnight. So it looks as though Dow is up slightly 0.02, S&P is down 0.21, NASDAQ down 0.34. So let me know your thoughts on that. Getting right to it, Sofi, no news, no SEC filing, so it's just piggybacking off the broader market, down 0.48%. As far as shorts, they have been kind of all over the place, but generally starting to get back in. So anticipate them to be somewhat active today, and most likely by the end of the day increasing. 13.88% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 150.65 million shares overall are being shorted. A couple of key points to watch for. With it right now at 1847 during the pre-market, it is trading between this R3 and this R2, so it's still doing fairly well. 1822 is going to be a strong support, just watch for that, and then 1754 is going to be the following support level. Flip side, 1932 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I think today's a little bit of consolidation. 0.54 is nothing to be worried about, only 10 cents. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Moving on, Tesla. Honestly, it's a very interesting stock. Never ceases to amaze me the absolute craziness that does happen, but it looks as though Elon didn't learn his lesson previously and wants to get all political, so making a new political party, and he already kind of got the rubber stamp and got it all created technically. So yeah, he's not bluffing, he's straight out making a new political party. Crazy. But nonetheless, market does not like that, so it is down 6.07%. As far as shorts, 2.47% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 76 million shares. So shorts haven't really been doing all that much. And even aside from that, Tesla's not a squeeze play on a side note, especially with 2% short interest. But nonetheless, though, I do anticipate them to kind of increase, because last time Elon went all political, Tesla short interest did jump up to 4%. So anticipate that to most likely happen, not in one day, but most likely over the next couple of trading days. With it at 296, it is trading currently between this pivot and this S1. So 283 is going to be a very strong support. I don't really see that being touched today unless worst case scenario does happen and Trump maybe puts out some negative tariff update. Aside from that, 316 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, and similarly, I don't see that being touched whatsoever today, so most likely it'll just orient itself kind of more towards this S1, but let me know your kind of viewpoint on that, and if you're buying or if you're selling. But most likely I would anticipate also a couple of new analyst ratings to be relatively bearish given the recent updates from Elon. But moving on from here, ticker is ARTL. It is up 175%. Absolute craziness. I've already explained essentially my viewpoint on biotechs. They're not really my forte, but this is the reason why it is up. So got some very positive news, it looks like, and so of course that is really pushing it higher. So just kind of research that, do your own due diligence and all the other fun jazz. At the same time, the magnitude of it going up could be dilution, so it does have a lot of warrants, convertible notes as well. So essentially you could be seeing some dilution today. On a side note, 2.18% of the free float's being shorted, so it's not a squeeze play. Shorts obviously won't be influencing it at all today. Works out to be 11,000 shares, so very small amount. With it right now at $25 and change, it is currently trading between this R2 and this R1. 22.44 is going to be a strong support. 27.12 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, followed by 34.69. So this one is going to be a day trader's dream. So just kind of watch for a lot of these. In my opinion, of course, with biotechs not really being my forte or anything, I do feel like there will be a little bit of a pullback, possibly to this 22, bouncing off of that and kind of testing this 25 range. But anything is possible with these stocks, and with dilution happening, you could see some very aggressive ups and downs. So just do your own due diligence. Lucid, surprisingly, even though there hasn't been any news from it today, no SEC filings, it is very heavily traded, top 10 currently, down 1.39%. They did recently put out their Q2 numbers last a couple days ago, as you can kind of see on July the 2nd. Market generally liked it, so it caused it to go higher. So yeah, it's a little bit of consolidation, some institutions getting out, but I do feel a lot of dips today might get kind of bought up. As far as shorts, they play a very big role in what happens with Lucid. So 33.36% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 411 million shares. If Lucid, for whatever reason, puts out a good catalyst, definitely this could turn into a very nice squeeze play. Aside from that, with at 213, trading between this pivot and this S1, so 208 is going to be a strong support, and then 216 is going to be that key pivot, which it did close on Thursday at, and then 224 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And then last but not least is ticker ASST. So that one is up 5.15%. No official news from it today, no SEC filings, just piggybacking off of the news that came out on the Thursday. So this stock's definitely doing fairly well over the last 1 year, up 196.53%. So yeah, this one's a beast. And if you kind of look at it, it does have crazy spikes up, usually pulls back, but nonetheless, this definitely could be a day trader's dream. It is somewhat heavily shorted, so 22.61% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 3.37 million shares. Right now with that 450, trading between this pivot and this S1, 345 is going to be a strong support, and then 531 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. In my opinion, just given everything that's been happening with it over the last couple of trading days, I don't feel like this 345 will be touched, even worst case scenario. And then similarly, this 531 most likely could potentially be touched, but I don't really see there being enough for it to stay above there. So again, if you're a day trader, this one might be one to add to your watch list. But nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's kind of floating your boat? Hot one for today, of course, going back over here, will be Tesla. So a lot of individuals will be really kind of day trading it. It's going to be huge amounts of volume, even during the overnight. I think it did hit 1 million or a little bit over that. So yeah, definitely going to be a interesting day for Tesla. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.